There are 5 Republicans running for House District 110, but there's one Democrat who just entered the race, Alice Wakefield. In this special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I speak exclusively with her one-on-one. Well, Alice, it's so good to see you here.
Thank you. It's nice to have you here, Quintin.
At the Jolly Corner.
At the Jolly Corner.
I love this. Thanks for all your hospitality, too.
Well, I'm glad that you could make it.
We appreciate it. And, a couple of days ago, we were supposed to tape an interview.
Yes.
But unfortunately, you became sick because this whole process for you is relatively new.
It is new. It is new. I think that I was exhausted from a lot of family visits, which were wonderful. But, in the back of my mind, I wondered whether or not I was, by filing on Tuesday, that might have contributed to the overload. And I stayed in bed for 2 days. But I got up yesterday morning feeling more like my old self, and I'm ready to go.
Like I said, thank God.
Yes.
And let me take you back a day before Monday, because you actually posted something on Facebook basically saying that there are 4 Republicans running for House District 110. And I know that you got a response from the South Carolina Democratic Party Chairman, Jamie Harrison.
Yes, I did. Jamie Harrison said, well, why don't you run?
Wow.
And I said, me?
Yeah.
And I thought, well, what about somebody else who has some more experience in politics? And he said there's no one stepping forward, and it's a shame. It's really a shame not to have a Democrat to give the voters a choice between 2 parties rather than just one party who would then run unopposed. And this is the downtown district, so it just seems like that's, we should do better in the downtown district. And the district, I don't know if you've seen the map of it, it crosses over the Cooper into Mount Pleasant. And I have a lot of friends in Mount Pleasant, and I have a lot of friends downtown, so I'm hoping I can rally my friends and we can make something happen.
Speaking of which, you also said this on Facebook, quote, why does SC District 110 goes across the Cooper instead of up the peninsula? This is weird and suspiciously gerrymandered. So what's your message to the people of the peninsula?
I really was shocked to see the district. It seems to me, Quintin, that when geographically you put a district together, we work together.
Right.
Why in the world would they split the peninsula when we really need to work together in the peninsula? So why isn't the district together too? I don't want to say anything. I'm not saying anything against Mount Pleasant.
Right.
But I don't think it was anybody's effort here. It was probably gerrymandered in the legislature to the advantage of eliminating certain voters so that this district would be likely to be a Republican district.
Wow.
And it has been a Republican district for a long time. And look at all the Republican interest that there was. 5 different Republicans have filed for this particular seat. And so I'm the one Democrat. I came forward. I have not had experience as a politician, but maybe this year it's a good year to not have experience as a politician. People are tired of that, the same old thing. They want something new. They want something different. I'm an educator.
Yes.
And I think that I can bring some insight to the House in terms of education. I don't think we need another lawyer in the House. We've had plenty of lawyers, so I'm thinking it's time for looking at a different background. And education is sorely needed in this state.
And describe to me the following one word.
Okay.
Roads in South Carolina.
Oh my gosh, that's, my husband just said, I think a good theme for a bumper sticker is education, roads, and respect. And roads are, I read in the, it was an editorial in the paper today. Maybe you read it too. And that editorial was bemoaning the situation with the roads. So definitely roads are on my list.
Abortion.
Abortion is a difficult situation. I don't think that abortion is a right to life or choice issue. I think it's power and it's control over women, and I will have none of that. I don't think that's fair. Women need to be able to make their own health decisions. No one else should make it for them.
refugees in South Carolina?
Oh, refugees. Well, I feel that refugees should be welcomed. I think they already are screened before they can come in. And so once they're here, I'd like to welcome them. And especially don't like the anti-Muslim rhetoric that you're hearing. And I went to the open house at the mosque that was earlier this year, or maybe it was last year. And I think they were very heartened by how many people showed up to say that we are not like the anti-Muslim rhetoric that you keep hearing.
Old Dominion University.
Oh, that's where I taught for 22 years, Quintin. I was on the faculty there, and I taught in the early childhood program. And we had, we gave an undergraduate degree, we had a master's degree, and we had a doctorate degree. So it was really wonderful to be there and see, and I still keep in touch with my students.
That's awesome.
And it's lovely to see them grow and develop, and I now know some students who are in positions of authority in the early childhood scene. So it's always has been a pleasure. I didn't retire until I was 70.
Wow.
Because I loved my work.
Yes, yes.
So Facebook kind of helped me keep in touch with my students, and that has so that's been good. And being retired has other advantages, I found.
Yes. And speaking of undergrad, as I understand, you actually you majored in theater.
Yes, I did.
But you really didn't do anything with it.
No, I did a short summer program after I graduated, but it was living history in Yorktown, Virginia.
Oh, yes.
That was fun, but I haven't done anything with it. But I think having that theatrical background might be helpful to me as I campaign, I hope.
Talk to me in one word about the University of Virginia.
Oh, well, that's where both my husband and I went and worked on our doctorates. And I have very fond memories of Virginia. It was a challenging program, and I think I grew a lot from that challenge. I still keep in touch with people there too.
That is awesome. And you
Well, that wasn't one word, was
Oh,
it?
no, you're fine. You're fine. You're actually fine. And you talk about your husband, who is Angus. I'm wondering, how did you two meet?
We were in high school together.
Oh.
We were in the same class in a very small school, and we didn't marry each other right after college. We met again later in life, and so we've been married. In fact, our anniversary is next week, and we're going to have been married 37 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yep.
And obviously, let's talk about your two children.
I have two girls. Melissa is my older daughter. She's in San Francisco.
Right.
And Caroline is my younger daughter, and she's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And she's the one who comes most to Charleston. She was, when we first were in Charleston in 1985, she was a student at Davidson College,
Right,
which
yeah.
isn't too far away.
Right.
And so this was her home then. So she really developed a love, I think, for Charleston, and she comes as often as she can.
And you know, when I saw you and Angus in front of the old South Carriage Company the other
Yes.
day, you were there with your two
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
grandchildren.
right. That's right.
When you think of them, what goes to your mind, Alice?
Well, one thing I think about is how we need to make sure the future is good for those children. I'm old enough so that really what happens in politics probably won't affect me much, but I want things to be good for my grandchildren, my children and my grandchildren, and so that's what goes through my mind.
Yes. And we know that you love politics. You love traveling.
Yes.
You love spending time with your grandchildren.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, who is Alice Wakefield?
Oh my goodness, well, I guess I'd have to say I am a wife and mother, and I've always been interested in education, and I hope that I can take that interest and actually, I guess I should say it's a passion.
Wow.
It's a passion,
Wow.
and I hope to take that passion and make it make something better of it for South Carolina and for District 110.
That's awesome. Well, Alice Wakefield, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate this.
I enjoyed it too.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Well,
Okay.